I'll say something. First off, congratulations to Kansas, man. They have a solid team. They don't make very many mistakes. Played really good defense against us and threw a lot of strikes, a lot of different type of arm slots, different things coming at us, and they got some big hits. Took advantage of, 3 or 4 mistakes we made today. Didn't turn double play ball and had a couple outfielders run into each other, and I could go on and on. But, I was proud of our team. We scored 20 runs on the day. And, the first game we, probably shouldn't have been as close as it was, but we held up. McIlvain, not to close the game because we needed him to start because we were trying to win and win the tournament, not just win one game. We were trying to win the second game today. And, he didn't lose his stuff, but he lost his control. And that's why we got him. And, but yeah, it was just, it was a long day. We fought hard, man. Like I said, I was super proud of our players for getting after it. I mean, the message this morning was we got to score, we got to hit. And if you'd have told me we're going to score 10 in each game, I'd have told you we're probably going to win both of them. But, the defense let us down a little bit today. And, I got to throw a couple freshmen that went out there and let it rip a little bit. Kind of gets me excited about next year a little bit. So, I told the team, I said a month and a half ago, we were struggling. We didn't know which way we were going to go. And we challenged them. We started working different ways, and they responded. We won a lot of games the last 45 days, and we came a long way from where we were in fall baseball. I'll tell you that.
Open to questions. Again, name, affiliation, and go from there.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Dave, just, it seemed like the wins at the end of the season, there was still just like a concern with the pitching, and you hinted on it. I mean, can you have any explanation maybe for just the struggles that guys like Gibbler, Fisher, some of the older guys that you had some high expectations for just this season?
You look back and you think about Gibbler's freshman year. He had a really good breaking ball. Kind of lost it. Almost had it back, and it kind of went away again. And that was his go-to pitch. I mean, he was our closer last year as a freshman, a team that went to Omaha and almost won the national championship. And we tried to have him be a starter this year. And it doesn't go good because he doesn't have the secondary pitch, and he's got to get that back. You can throw 92 miles an hour, but you got to have some other stuff to go with it too. And I know that Cole's frustrated about it, and he'll get it back. And then Fisher, we never knew what Fisher was going to be. Was he going to be a middle guy starter? We started him because he threw so many strikes in the fall. He was first 3 weeks of the season, he was lights out. Guys were swinging at it, and he didn't throw anything over the middle of the plate, and then it slowly started fading. He never really ever got it back. And when he started getting beat around pretty good, pitching behind in the count. But yeah, I mean that was a little bit of the issue with this year's team. We didn't have enough starting pitching. We had some guys that were pretty good in the bullpen, but they didn't have enough of a mix to get you out more than a few innings, is what I saw. So we're working on that for the future.
You mentioned you came a long way from the fall. Did you, in the fall, maybe see some of these defensive struggles that just kind of reared their head, especially this weekend?
We didn't have a true shortstop. We lost the Golden Spikes winner, so nobody wanted to come in behind him a year ago because they weren't going to get to play during his junior year. Had a couple signed, and then they signed pro. One was a transfer. And they tell you they're not going to sign. They're getting ready to be a senior, and they take a third of what they tell you it's going to take. What do you do? Because that's what happened, and it got us. So then we tried to start with a freshman. It didn't work very well. Finally, we just said we're going to put Kojal over there. Kojal's a second baseman. He's going to be a second baseman in professional baseball. And he played really well for us there for a guy that is super, super quick. And, he's more of a second baseman, third baseman type guy. So, you know, Pompey had some great days, and he had some days when he struggled. So tonight, it's a double play ball, gets out of the inning. Next thing you know, they score a run on that, they score 2 more instead of being in the dugout. I mean, it is what it is. That's what we had, and, you know, we can coach them, and they got to play.
Danny West, Hog Sports. Coach, you said you're looking forward to working on it, got the portal opening up. General thoughts on that? How do you plan to attack that?
Yeah, we'll be in the portal pretty good, and you know, it's not what I love doing. You know, that's not the way I like developing kids. I like to get freshmen and keep them coming along. But if you want to compete in the Southeastern Conference, full-grown man league, and you know, it's hard to win with three freshmen in the lineup and a couple of freshman pitchers that you depend on every weekend. It's just not going to happen. You got to get guys that have some experience, and so we'll be in the middle of it. It starts tomorrow. We all know it. We're ready for it, and you know, but our goal still is to get really good high school kids.
Hey, Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Their shortstop LeBlanc looks like he's a really tough hitter. I don't know what your plan was against him. What do you think about him as a hitter?
Oh, he's a great hitter. He's hitting leadoff, hits for power. He knows the strike zone, and he just seems like very confident. Doesn't mind taking a strike early, and then he fights you pretty good. And if you make a mistake in the zone, he's got some power. You know, he's not super big, but he's powerful. And yeah, he was. I think he just. I was talking to the team, and I think he was MVP of the tournament, and rightly so.
His shot to the wall, that hit the top. Yep. I guess it's hard for those guys to call each other out. How do you think that play developed there?
It's center fielder's ball, but when two guys are running as fast as those guys can run, and that ball split them, man, that's where you have bad collisions. You can be yelling. I'm sure the fans were yelling out there. They were probably both calling it and couldn't hear each other. And, you know, Micah had it in his glove for a split second. He would have caught it if he wouldn't have run into Damien, but Damien would have caught it if he wouldn't have run into Micah. So tough one. It's when as a coach you can't really, you know, you go ask them, hey, were you calling it? You're trying to teach them and coach them. And they both said they couldn't hear it. They couldn't hear each other. So hustle mistake, start of the inning, and they ended up scoring a couple runs there. It's like every time we'd score, they'd score, you know, and so we didn't stop, and we were running out of pitching, obviously. But that 6-run inning, that's what did us in. It didn't have to be that many because we made some mistakes.
Greenstein, Lawrence Journal World. What was the situation with the bunt single where it looked like maybe you wanted to challenge it?
Yeah, maybe you guys shouldn't put it on the board so I could see that I thought he was safe, or out. No, it's yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to win. I didn't ask for it quick enough. What else you want? The truth that you got it.
Hey, Dave, a lot of the teams who were in Omaha last year they're gone now at this point. I know you guys were trying to balance recruiting last year when you were there. How much of a factor do you think that had on I know you can only speak to your team, but maybe other teams this year and that balance that they have to find?
Well, I know for our team, you know, you can't say a whole lot, but you got to get some help. And you got to be able to get those kids. So we needed help. We didn't get the help we needed right away. And they ended up other places. So I'm sure that's the same thing that happened to some other schools. When you're in Omaha, teams are getting a jump on you. They're getting kids in immediately. Kids they're taking it, and they're in there. That's where they go. And you know, when you play a couple weeks in on that thing, it's late June, and a lot of the good ones are gone. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't really want to go there too much.
Dave, just wondering, Camden and Ryder, 2 guys that were part of your Omaha team last year, just so instrumental to the late season surge this year. What can you say about their impact on the program and this team in particular as the leaders?
Let's start with Ryder. You know, this guy's as a freshman, we knew how good he was going to be behind the plate, and he caught behind a junior, and he was every bit as good a receiver. He wasn't quite there offensively yet, and then the last 2 years, he's just become one of the best catchers in the country, and I feel like he'll play for a long time professionally at the big league level. Calls his own game for the most part. We help him out, stay in contact back there, but just a good leader on and off the field, and not super rah-rah, but intense. Kind of gets on himself a little bit too much, and he's worked on that a lot since he's been here. Just has high standards, but he reminds me of some of the guys that I've had in the past that played in the big leagues, and the bat came on, the power came on. You're going to miss him a lot. And then, Cam, just an Omaha kid. I'm so happy he got to play in Omaha last year with us. And, what a year he had. Last year he hit a little bit higher for an average, but this year he hit for big-time power, drove in 70 runs, put him at shortstop midway through the season, said, hey, we got to see if you can do it. And he did it for the most part. Just a great person, popular amongst teammates. Both of them are. Yeah, we're losing two big-time leaders that have made their mark with Arkansas Razorback baseball and me personally.